I'm Chef Karen. Welcome to our lesson on how to make cordon bleu. So, our ingredients for cordon bleu include a chicken breast, some ham and Swiss cheese, some flour, an egg, some breadcrumbs, and of course we need some toothpicks, a meat mallet, a fork and a bowl to scramble our eggs, a meat thermometer, a pan to cook it in. All right, so the first step we do is we take our chicken breast, and I've already cleaned up all the stuff I don't want on it. And chicken breasts have a presentation side and an underside. The presentation side is the skin side, and we don't want that to get messed up, so we set that flat down on our cutting boards. And we put saran wrap over it because we don't want it to splatter all over the whole kitchen. So it's just an easy way to protect it. And then we're going to take the meat mallet and we're going to pound it flat. We need it flat in an even surface so it'll cook evenly and it'll fit in our ham and our Swiss cheese. So we don't want to use the rough side of the mallet because chicken breasts are already tender. They don't need to be tenderized. We're going to use the flat side of it, and I've picked a pretty heavy-duty one so I can do it quite efficiently without too many whacks. All right, so let's continue to pound and flatten our chicken breast out. When it's force, you can't just tap it and expect something to happen to it. You need to really give it some good business. Take that, COVID-19. Take that. This one's pretty tough today. You notice I'm not pounding it this end. It's already thin. And what I'm trying to do is thin out this upper portion. All right, now that it's all pounded out and nice and flat, we take off the saran wrap and you can see nice even, and the presentation side still looks presentable. All right, we still put that presentation side down. We're gonna fill the inside. The first thing we do is put down our ham, and we tuck the Swiss cheese inside the ham. This will keep it from leaking out once it melts in the oven, and I kind of like to make it a nice little package. And then when I fold this up, I treat it like diapers, so I fold the bottom up, tuck in my sides, which aren't going to do too well, and then flip over my top. We're going to use toothpicks like safety pins to hold it together. Just kind of in and out, in and out. Tuck up our sides here. And it doesn't matter how many toothpicks you use, and in fact, there's no wrong way to package this. Whatever works best for you. They tucked in very well. All right, there we go. A nicely packaged cordon bleu. Okay, the next step is to coat it with flour for the breading. And I like to put some flour on wax paper so I can tuck it up the sides and get it all coated more evenly. All right, once that flour is very important because nothing will stick to the breast unless you have flour. Now, if you're gluten intolerant, you can substitute cornstarch for flour. All right, then we need to scramble our egg. All right, I'm just gonna crack it into my bowl. I'm using a fork. You can use a small wire whisk. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes they put milk in with the eggs to make it stretch it a little farther. You can even use buttermilk as this second part to help your breadcrumbs stick. All right, so now our chicken breast goes into the eggs, and we want to make sure and coat all sides of it, otherwise our breadcrumbs won't stick. And our next step is then into the breadcrumbs. All right, into our breadcrumbs, and again, these are seasoned breadcrumbs, Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. And if you didn't get egg on it and it's not sticking, like I have a little spot here that doesn't want to stick, it can go right back in the eggs, right back into your breadcrumbs. And there we go. Our cordon bleu is now ready to cook. And I'm going to put it in a pan with lined with parchment paper. So that will help collect all the grease that comes off the chicken, and it'll make your pan much easier to clean. Another way to do this, or the way that's usually preferred to do this, is actually to deep fry it at 375 degrees for just about a minute. It sets the crust, gives it a beautiful golden color and some nice flavor. But today we're going to do the alternate thing that you can do is You still have to have that crispy crust, and you won't get that crust unless you spray it really, really well on the outside with some pan spray. It has to be pretty heavily sprayed in order to get a nice crust. So here's our cordon bleu ready to put in the oven. All right, now we're ready to put our cordon bleu in the oven. This is a 350-degree oven, and of course I put it on the center rack. And we'll bake it for about 30 minutes. All right, I believe our chicken is done now, so let's take its temperature. There we are. It's above 165 degrees, so we've met our minimal internal temperature. Now that it is cooked, let's get out the toothpicks, and I'll put it on the plate so you can see me do this. It's a nice golden brown color on this surface. And I'm going to turn this over and just look for them. I believe I had 6. I'm not sure I'll be able to get them all out. You can see that the breading kind of swells up as it goes. 3, 4. Woo! It's fresh out of the oven, so it's very hot. All right, now let's go ahead and take this and cut it in half and look at the inside of it. None of the cheese leaked out while in the oven. So now here we have our cordon bleu.